Hi, my name is Kat, or the Prayer Librarian, and welcome to another reading vlog. It is Wednesday now, and I'm actually filming this right after finishing the last vlog. So yeah, I don't really have anything to update on yet, but I do want to tell you what I'm going to be reading for the week. So first and foremost, I want to finish The Bandit Queens by Parini Shroff. Let's hold this. This is a contemporary fiction about some women in India. Um, so the main character is believed to have um, killed her husband. And so now these other women want to try and kill their husband and ask her for help. And she pretends that she is in fact guilty because it's actually quite convenient for her to believe that. So it is really fun. I like the commentary. It is, yeah, I'm really invested in the story. I'm liking it. I'm now 40% in, but I'm actually hoping to finish it tomorrow. So today and tomorrow I'm gonna read more, and I would like to finish it because I want to finish it before the end of the month. That is my very arbitrary goal. But yeah, I do want that. So I'm gonna try to do that. And then I'm also currently reading Court of Wings and Ruin, which I'm loving. I read this book so fast. I'm really invested. I really love this series. So yeah, I'm gonna continue reading more of it. I am now a quarter of the way through. So I'll definitely update you more than with that. So this is definitely going to be read. And then, after finishing The Bandit Queens, I'm also thinking of starting Nettle and Bone this weekend, which was the book club pick for the book club posted over at The Fool's Tale, which is hosted by Andrew Watson. I'll put his channel down below. So it was actually the pick for November, but I didn't manage to get to it, so I'm gonna read it. No, it was a pick for October, sorry, but I didn't manage to get to it, so I'm gonna do it early November, so I can still chat about it with people. So those are the plans for this week. I will talk to you when I have something to update you on. It's really gonna be a few days because I have a lot of work to do, so I won't be able to read a ton. So it might take a couple of days before you see me again. Well, it'll take a couple days for me. For you, it'll take a few seconds, but you know what I mean. Anyway, see you then. Bye. Hi, it's Sunday evening, and I have updates for you. First and foremost, I finished The Bandit Queens, which I really, really enjoyed. There is so many different elements to The Bandit Queens that shouldn't work, but they just do somehow. The tone is very you have a scene that comes straight out of a cheesy comedy movie. And then pretty soon after that you'll get a hard-hitting emotional scene that's pretty hard to read. But it doesn't feel jarring. It's pretty, I don't know, it's really, really well done in that regard. So very impressive. I really like the characters. They're very easy to root for, and the bad guys are very easy to hate. But I still think they're quite complex. At first they really seem stereotypical and stuff like that, but as you get further along into the book, they get more complex, and the relationships between them get more complex. So yeah, I think it's a very interesting book. I definitely recommend it. I would love to read more by Parini Shroff because if her debut is this impressive, you know. It was really good. I was also very invested. I gave it 4.5 stars. It's not perfect. As already mentioned, like when I was reading it, I kept wanting to read, and if I put it down, I also wanted to pick it back up, and I was thinking about it until I read like a different book, like a bit in a different book, because I typically read multiple books at the same time, and then I just was like fine with leaving it if it not like the last thing that I'd read, which I don't typically have. So I don't know, it was a little bit weird in that way, but so for that I did. I don't think I could give it 5 stars, because if it's 5 stars, like I want to be reading it all the time. I also don't think it was a mood thing. Yeah, it was really good. I really liked it. So I do recommend. Then I also made quite a bit of progress in Akawar. I am a little over halfway through. I'm actually in the middle of a chapter because I was reading this on the train, and like when the train arrives, like you can't say like, hey, wait until I finish my chapter, like no, you have to get off. But I'm really liking this. This is definitely a lot more plot heavy than the first 2 books. Like they're all like fantasy romance, whatever you want to call it. But I think like the first 2 are definitely more leaning towards the romance. This one is definitely leaning more towards the fantasy, which makes sense because this was initially like the final book, because the other 2 that are out in the series were like added on later. So it definitely makes sense. But so did the experience is a little bit different than the first 2. But I'm still really, really loving it. Yeah, just the character work is really well done in here as well. Like the trauma, which I'd heard that Sarah J. Maas writes like trauma response really well, which is also true in this book. So yeah, I'm really liking it. I can't say too much because it's the 3rd book in the series and I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, that is what I have read. I mentioned that I was planning to start Nettle and Bone this weekend, which I haven't done, because there's a readathon hosted. It technically doesn't start until November 15th and it runs till December 15th. But in the Discord from the readathon, it's Bucketlistathon. People are already starting it. And I thought maybe, you know what, I can maybe also start it now, and then because there's easy mode and there's hard mode, and I thought that I would just do it like the normal time and do easy mode, because I don't think I'll be able to do hard mode in that time frame. But I kind of want to do hard mode, so I thought maybe instead of like doing like from 15 November to 15 December, I'll just start now, and then I have the full 2 months to complete hard mode, or like I can do it until I complete it, or for the entire 2 months, or just until I'm tired of it. So that is a thing. So it's with the game board, and I plan to do it like a roll as you go type of thing. And I wanted to do the first roll with you, so I waited until now. So I'll do the first 2 rolls actually, because I would like to be able to fit this with a prompt as well, because I am reading it now, so that I can count it for it, because I was like not even a quarter of the way through the beginning of the month. So I'll
show you.
Okay, so this is the board. There's 4 corners. You can choose to start in any of them. And they sort of relate to a potential goal that you may have. So you may want to read some series, get your physical TBR down, read some releases, or just do general life stuff. So like every space has a prompt, and there are also like 2 things that are technically cards. So you have the community cards, which if there's like a house like this, they're like general life things, community things. They can be reading related or not. And then there is this book, like a TBR card, which is just like a bunch of books that fate is going to decide which one I read. Technically, it's like meant for them to be like actual physical cards, but I just made them into spinner wheels. So yeah, because that was just a little bit easier for me. And then I'm going to do hard mode, which means I need to do 10 rolls. And then if I land on the same color 3 times, I have to add a roll. So it is very likely that I'm going to have to add a roll. And then I have to pass through each of the 4 corners. And then thirdly, it is important in which corner I start, because 50% of my rolls have to go to the corner that I pick. So if I start, for example, in new releases, then 50% of the books that I read have to be released this year. I'm not going to do that. I was hesitating between picking series or physical TBR, with physical TBR not actually being the TBR that I own. But if you watch my TBR videos, like, you know that at the end, I always do like a random number generator on this list that I have on my laptop, with a bunch of books. I'm gonna be picking books from that, because what that list is I'm a member of 2 libraries, one in my hometown and one here in my university town. And there are some books that one of the 2 has that the other one doesn't. But I figured that, I'm probably gonna have access to my hometown library for a pretty long time, because once I graduate, I'll probably live there again. But when I graduate, I probably won't have access to the one here in my university town. And that's why I made the list in the first place. Like, I wanted to give those priority, like read them while I still can, like that sort of thing. Which I've been kind of doing. Like, I've definitely been reading some books that are not on that list, but I've been trying my best. But like, this is like the last year of my bachelor's degree. Like, if everything goes right, knock on wood, I'll get my bachelor's degree this year, which won't be the end. I definitely want to do a master's degree. Actually thinking of maybe doing 2 masters. So I will be here for a little while, but it just made me realize that, like, I won't be here forever. And there's still like quite a lot of books on that list, so I want to read it down a little. So I'm gonna be doing physical TBR. As a mover piece, I had this really like cute little snowman that I wanted to use, but I forgot it at home. So I had to improvise and find something different. And so I'm going to be using this little hair clip. For now, I'll try to get the snowman next weekend when I'm back at my parents' house. So put that here. And then the 2 rolls, hopefully I can get Aquawar on here. If not, that's too bad. But I want a roll to get that on here, and I want another roll for like a new book that I could read simultaneously with Aquamore. So roll 1 is a 2. So I could go to a random number generator, or I could go to 5-star prediction. For a random number generator, I will probably pick one from the spreadsheet. But I think that's like a little bit too risky at this point. Like, I have a lot of books on my TBR that I still want to read, like for the 2 months. So I don't really want to potentially add something. I could technically like pick with a number from that TBR, but I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna go to 5-star prediction, which could technically be Aqua because it is a 5-star prediction for me. But I'll just do my second roll and then I can see what I use for what. Oh, so roll number 2 is a 4. So I could do a TBR card, I could do a community card, I could do backlist, or I could do hyped. I think, oh, this is hard. I'm hesitating between a TBR card or a hype to read. I think I'll go for hyped. And I'll just look at options and see what I can use for both. I'll be right back. Okay, so I got 5-star prediction and a hyped book. You're gonna see the behind the scenes process that also happens in my TBR videos right now because I have a lot of options, which usually is the thing. Like I see what the prompt is, and then I'm like, let's see what I can find. So for a hyped book, I could definitely use A Court of Wings and Ruin because it's Sarah J. Maas. It's freaking hyped. Or the other one that I was like thinking of right now is Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher, who's also very hyped. And this is buddy read from last month that I wasn't able to get to. And you know what? Like I already said that I wanted to start it. And then the third one that I thought of that was pretty hyped is The Pumpkin Spice Cafe, which I would be reading as an ebook. That is also definitely an option. Or finally, I also thought of Heartstopper Volume 2 by Alice Oseman because that series is definitely very hyped as well. For 5-star prediction, I could also use A Court of Wings and Ruin, or I could do The Examiner by Janice Hallett, because I've loved everything I've read by Janice Hallett. I've really come to love that author throughout the year. Or I could also do this one. I keep forgetting the original title. Hang on. It doesn't say. Why doesn't it give me the original title? Anyway, it's a spin-off of Castle in the Stars, which I love. It's probably my favorite comic ever. So I could read this, which would be great. And I think I will love it. I could also read Delilah Green Doesn't Care by Ashley Herring-Blake. I've heard great things about this. I've also really loved Astrid Parker, which is technically the second book in the series. But you know, like you can read them afterwards. A romance series.
I really loved it. And then the last one that I have for a 5-star prediction is Maas at the Gate by Nevo. I've really loved this series, so I could also read this one. So now the process of narrowing it down. I really, it's hard. It's hard. I'm not sure what I want to do. I think I'm already gonna eliminate Delilah Green just because like she's not on my TBR for the time being, and also wouldn't count towards the physical TBR goal, or like library TBR goal in my case. And also I already have quite a bit of romance on my TBR for now, and so I don't know if I'm gonna put on another one right now. Even though I do want to read this. It also was a gift from me for my birthday from a friend last year, so you know, maybe I'll put it on later, but not now. What else? I think I'm gonna wait a little bit with the Examiner as well. I could technically get it as an ebook, but I'm also on hold at the library for it, and I would prefer to read it physically, so I think I'm gonna wait until I have the physical book for that one. So that narrows down the 5-star predictions to Aqua, which is one I've already started and I'm in the middle of, or 2 that would count towards the goal on like the board, but are not on my TBR. This one is a continuation of a series, so that is good. This one is starting a new series, but it's the only one that is out, or at least the only one that's out in Dutch, which is the language that I'm reading the series in, so it wouldn't really add to the series I'm reading. And I do really want to read both. So I'm gonna wait on that. I'm gonna see if I can eliminate something with the hyped ones. I think I'm gonna eliminate Heartstopper because I don't have it currently. I would have to go to the library, which I can't do tonight. I can only do it tomorrow. Like I don't think I'll start it tonight, but I want to have that option, you know. So I think I'm gonna remove that one. So then we're down to Nettle and Bone, the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, in a Court of Wings and Ruin. Oh, this is so hard. Because there's 4 books here that I really want to read. And I don't know what to read first. I mean, I'm reading Aquawar. But like out of the other 4 that I have left, I don't know what I want to read first. I think that maybe the Pumpkin Spice Cafe would be a good option because it counts towards my TBR game. It counts towards the Bucketlistathon goal that I have. And I already mentioned I have quite a bit of romance on my TBR. So maybe like starting with the romance and like I don't read everything else first and have to read like 5 romances back to back would be good, because also I wanted to read the rest of the series to the Pumpkin Spice Cafe potentially this month. And actually those are the reason that it's on a spreadsheet, because I'm getting that this one as an ebook, but I don't think my library has the rest of the series as an ebook, or at least not all the books that are out currently, but they do have all of them as physical books, so that's why they're on the list. Because I want to read them in order, because I'm that person. Even though I didn't do that with the series. But yeah, I think that that's what I'm going to do. Use Aquawar as a 5-star prediction, and then the Pumpkin Spice Cafe as a hyped book. Because like I've heard everyone and their mom talk about it. So I'll get the ebook ready. Oh, it's one of those that don't get a cover apparently. Oh, they do. Okay. There it is. The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I'm gonna read this. So excited. Yeah, it's not too long. Like, it's 237 pages according to my e-reader, which is not as much as the physical book will be. It always gives me less pages, but you know. Okay. So now we've seen the chaos that happens when I have to pick books for a prompt. I hope you enjoyed it. I will talk to you when I have an update. Bye. Is the skirt giving wedding dress? Yes. Do I care? A little bit, but not enough to not wear it today because it's pretty. Hello, it is Wednesday. I wanted to start with good morning, but I just joined Ralph's live sprints. It does live sprints every morning. And I heard stuff. And I don't like it. I'm not gonna go into it because I want this channel to be an escape from the world, if possible, and to be like a place where you don't have to think about it for however many minutes my videos last. But you probably know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I'm not very happy about that. But I do have reading updates because I am 21% into the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, and it is very okay so far. Like, it doesn't really have a very strong flavor, I feel like, which often happens with these super popular books. I think that is the reason why they can get so popular, is because if it appeals more widely to more types of readers, so it makes sense. um I'm not disliking it, but it's also not one that is going to be a new favorite or anything. um the attraction and whatever is very fast, um, which I would prefer a little bit more of a slow burn. But yeah, I don't know. It's okay. I can't take this book seriously. I can't. I don't know. Every time I'm reading it, like my inner voice, because I subvocalize, my inner voice is like kind of, it's just not being serious, it's kind of laughing at it, and I feel bad. But I don't know if that is also kind of entertaining. I don't know. Um, I I'm not DNFing it. I will definitely continue it, but it's also not one that I'm dying to pick up again. Um, but maybe because it is also, it's just, I think a lot of the coziness comes from like the familiarity, like the beats, like what's gonna happen, whatever.
And I think that that is going to be a nice vibe at this point. So I will continue it today, um, and then talk to you about it. But that will be in the next vlog because I'm gonna wrap it up here. Um, so yeah, what have I read in this vlog? I started the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I have continued Aqua War. I haven't really read much of that since we last talked, so I don't have an update on that. And then I finished the Bandit Queens, which I'm really happy about. So, anyway, that was a vlog. Is there anything else I want to tell you? Yeah, there is some exciting news. I finally have a topic for my dissertation, which is great. I am very relieved because it took me a really long time to get a topic. And I'm also just very excited to start researching it because, yeah. Anyway, um, I think that's the vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're doing well. Um, Let me know what you've been reading and doing this week. And I will see you again in another video. Bye.